Hello, come on in. Welcome to the Hill Memorial Baptist Church. We're excited to show you this incredible property that I think you'll see is well worth keeping. And in fact, we're excited about restoring it as a use for the folks that will be living in this new housing that we're creating. So what do you think? Maybe let's go right out to the main room, shall we? This is the main worship area that I think you'll agree with me has a beautiful level of architecture here, including these exposed cathedral type beams that will really lend itself nicely for a community center in the not too distant future. The pews are still set up. We'll probably be removing those. There's a couple of places where the damage has been rather extensive in terms of the previous roof leaks. We've patched the roof leaks, and they've held up pretty good since we purchased the property back in late 23. Obviously, we need some more extensive repairs. These stained glass are beautiful. It's also some beautiful stained glass in the back. These represent the four Gospels of the Bible: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You can see some of the wood here is from the original when the property was built in 1903. The heating systems are all old and antiquated. It was a real chore to keep these this place heated. But we still have these old pianos that we hope to find a good home for in the near future. Take a look at that particular honor roll of folks. The honor roll for the World War. And the immediate question comes, is it World War I or World War II? Obviously, when we had World War I, we didn't assume there'd be a World War II, so that's how old that is. Among the folks that are identified on that list is Stanley Ringer, who is the source of the name for Ringer Park. The scene here is quite beautiful and lends itself nicely to the plans that we have to make this a very welcoming place for folks from the elderly housing development to move to use this as a gathering space. These are the actual organ pipes that are connected to that organ up there that you see on the altar. So we're hoping again to find a home for both that musical instrument as well as all the mechanical associated with it. Right here was where they did full immersion baptisms. So there's an actual pool. You know, you're probably looking at 3 or 4 feet of water in here, which always frightens me because it's so close to the electrical outlets. I think I'd like to show you some of the rooms in the back here, which I think were very important to the community that used this as their parish. This room was labeled as the fellowship room, and it was where we've had many discussions with the folks from the Hill Memorial Baptist Church prior to buying the property. I can remember distinctly having the help of the folks from the McDermott house in discussing how we could possibly purchase this property and at the same time be respectful of the closeout of the Hill Memorial Baptist Church. It's kind of beat up. The plaster's starting to fall off now that the heat's off, but you can tell it was a beautiful room. Across the hall here is what was called the church office. We've actually set up a couple of tables here during the pre-construction phase, but this was where the Reverend and some of her team sort of served the congregation. This hallway, which is at the very entrance, also leads you over to the pastor's office here, which is nice because it's very close to North Harvard Ave. It's a nice bright room. I wanted to show you up to the choir loft, which will provide us a great view of the layout of the church itself. So this is one of my favorite spots because it provides an expansive view of the area down below us. There's also some nice light coming in from this window. Again, this is facing North Harvard, so it's a great opportunity to bring that light in all the way down into the wide open space here. But it also sort of, even as it's laid out now, it provides a nice view of what the church looked like during its operation. But it also is an opportunity to sort of view the design that we have to utilize this space. Eventually that raised altar area will be removed, and that will provide an area that we're envisioning sort of as a library with some special window treatments on that area too. So it's really sort of a nice transition period right now to see how it will look and how it does look now. This area down here, some indications are that this next section I show you, was the original Sunday school that was built at this site by at the Hill family farm. And that building was actually incorporated over in this piece of the church itself. So watch your step. This is an indication of where the old structure was incorporated into the rest of the new structure. It seemed like they wanted to make sure that they weren't wasting any of the building materials that they had before, so incorporated this into the overall design of the new church structure. This room in particular is a room that can provide some access to the bell tower. I'm not going to take that off, a bunch of dust and probably bats will fall in on this. But we have taken it off and looked up, and the framing is absolutely beautiful. And it rises right up to the full peak of the church. This entrance that you see behind me here, I think will eventually be removed. This was a separate entrance that allowed the choir to come up directly up here. This choir was actually built, and there was an article in the local newspaper when it was built. It was created to have 100 people up here for the choir. It was built very strongly to handle that kind of weight. And that's sort of testified by that 1935 film that people are just pouring out of this place. It used to really be packed at one point. This provides an opportunity later on for some storage or maybe some office space up here. So we're on the basement floor now, and again, every part of this building was used for some purpose. Is indications at one point there must have been some daycare facility over here in this particular room, which is a nice big room. Across the hall, there's space that was used as a kitchen, and clearly provided a resource for people to make breakfast, etc. And then this main room here, this was one of the last pieces of the building that were used before it officially closed down at the end of 23. This was where they had, I think, at least a couple, if not 3 or 4 times a week, AA meetings that brought about anywhere from 40 to 70 people a day in here. So this was an important part of people's community. There's a small stage here. Actually, it looks like a place where folks might have held some events for Christmas. The plans are to create a handicapped accessible access on this side over on the Easton Street side, and then this will become space that will be available from a public perspective to provide other services for elderly folks. A lot of our mechanical systems will be down here. In fact, even the mechanical systems for the new construction will be located in this part of the building. We'll also have bike parking in here, and we're trying to utilize all the space.
Well, you want to see the old house, Parsons' house?
Hello, we're coming in. So here's the kitchen that was kind of beat up. You'll see these holes throughout the area. Those are testing spots for asbestos and lead.
What was the result?
There is, and you can tell it was a nice little spot to be able to walk right over to the church on. would have been very nice. The ladies mentioned to me that they always had big families in here that were connected to the church. Eventually, as the congregation got decreased, they just rented it out. It turned out that some of the people who lived here also were participants in the church. The value of this property is really the land around it. So to incorporate this would have just been too hard. It's not the most efficient design, you know. But yeah, look at it. It's like this library. You know? The plan here is to create 49 units of deeply affordable housing targeted to folks that are 62 years or older, so elderly housing. Essentially, the area around the church will be developed not only as an entrance to the parking area that will be down in this area, but also will extend. The new building will extend over here and almost like a modified U, so that it will go all the way down toward Coolidge Road, then run along Coolidge, and then back to connecting to the church structure itself in about the second or third set of windows here. And that will allow people to almost have a campus here that will include not only the parking, but the housing, and then access to this beautiful structure that will provide a community center for folks. We're going to try to leave the building alone, so we'll look the way it is. We're just identifying materials that we want to focus in on for the historic preservation. You can see the site itself is a rare commodity here in Lower Allston. And we're so grateful that we were able to get a hold of it.